I am asked to solve the following equation. T times a quantity of t minus 6 plus 2 is equal to 0. Let's rewrite our equation using the distributive property. I have t times t, which is t squared, and t times a negative 6, which is a negative 6t, plus 2 is equal to 0. I recognize that I have a quadratic equation that is set equal to 0. One way I could solve is to try to factor it, but I would see that there are no two numbers that multiply to a positive 2 that add to a negative 6. Therefore, I'm going to use the quadratic equation in order to solve for this problem. You might recall that given a quadratic equation, a times t squared plus b times t plus c is equal to 0, I can solve for t by using the quadratic formula that is given by t is equal to the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. In our case, we have a is equal to 1, b is equal to a negative 6, and c is equal to 2. So in order to solve for our quadratic equation, we would have t is equal to the opposite of b, which is a negative 6, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is negative 6 squared, minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. Now I need to simplify my numerator and denominator. In my numerator, I have the opposite of a negative 6, or a positive 6. Now I want to simplify under the square root sign. I have a negative 6 squared, which is 36, and I want to subtract away 4 times 1 times 2, or subtract 8. That is all divided by 2 times 1, or 2. This gives me t is equal to 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 8, which is equal to 28 all over 2. Before I can answer my question, I am going to have to further simplify under the square root. I know that it's not simplified because there's a perfect square under the square root of 28, because 28 is 4 times 7. So the square root of 28 is the square root of 4 times 7, which is the square root of 4 times the square root of 7. The square root of 4 is 2. So I know that the square root of 28 is equivalent to 2 times the square root of 7. So I have t is equal to 6 plus or minus 2 times the square root of 7 all over 2. This is the same as 6 divided by 2 plus or minus 2 divided by 2 times the square root of 7. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. Therefore, I have t is equal to 3 plus or minus 1 times the square root of 7, or 3 plus or minus the square root of 7.